Okay, this is day. It's a 2000 year boxster. Very cool. All the rubber and all the bolt-on parts, hood, trunk, and so on and so forth. Couple. About all the interior out of it. There we go. Everything must go. Okay, here's some of the steel we're going to use. Put a little bit of metal back into the car. Ready to cut it in half. We'll remove these rear quarter panel pieces. All the hoses. Alright, we are now ready to start cutting this boxster in half. We're going to stretch this thing 10 inches for our new GT body, our roadster body. We're going to cut it just in between these jack stands, right in front of the motor compartment area. Oh, actually I guess I got to move this jack stand forward just a hair. Basically, that's one of the rear bolts for the emergency brake handle, so we're going to cut on the seam just behind that bolt. So the emergency brake will stay in its stock location. This is part of the emergency brake here. A metal rod goes into that, so we will cut that metal rod and we'll stretch that the same 10 inches that we're going to stretch the car. So right along this seam, pretty much where we're going to try to follow while we're cutting. Right across there, right through here. We removed the rear quarter panels, just the outer skin parts, so they don't interfere with the body that we're going to put on. Three hours, I would say it'll take him. Alright, we've cut the car in half. Alright, through the middle, just like we were talking about. Right now we're jockeying it around so we can slip these pipes in. These pipes are 38 inches long. There's 28 inches of clearance, there's a 10-inch space, and then we're going to back it up towards the rear and sleeve it. Slide it inside the hole. So that's what we got going on right here. Yeah.
They give it super sharp.
Okay. Right here, the hardest part for the stretch is the AC lines, but we basically released a bracket that was right behind that firewall, pulled them out of this wheel well in here, and we're doing some unbending down in there. To make them really neat, I might have to remove them and get them re-welded longer. And that's that. We'll show you again once we tack weld it a little. Alright, we've stuck our pieces of metal in the space. They are sleeved into each side. Then we put another piece of metal underneath so it can be jacked up level. This piece here, we're going to jack completely across the bottom of the car from here to here with it. Eventually that will get welded onto the outside of that rocker for extra strength. show the distance. 10 inches. I'll show you on the other side. Level. Now this bar here makes the car completely level from front to back. So once we do that on both sides, then we'll know we've got it. Now we, of course, will double check our gap, make sure they're all 10 inches. Pretty easy. Alright, here's our boxster, 10 inches longer, with all the metal welded up. Well, not all of it, most of it. You can see where we basically filled in the gap. Welded those plates in. This is that long bar that we'd supported the bottom of it with before, welded it to the side, grabbing strength all the way from front to back. So we've still got to fill in a little bit in the floor pan. I want fiberglass over all of it, so it's all fiberglass over it, so it all gets its watertight. Okay, the welding is all done. So now we're going to fiberglass this mat into the seam. And what you see there in the cracks between the metal is some silver tape just to fill in the gaps. And once it's all fiberglassed, then there will be no penetration of anything. Now we're going to go underneath the car and see exactly how we cut the hoses. These are the water lines, 2 pipes big, 2 pipes small, and there's one little tiny pipe right there in the middle. Those are the only 5 lines that have to be cut, put in a straight piece of extension hose, then you hook it back up to the original kink, so all the stuff by the engine, it's all back into the original position, which you'll see once we finish it. I'll record it one more time. Alright, so we've got all the wires attached, AC lines and everything. As you can see when you stand back and look, nothing's hanging down. And this car is ready to back off the lift. So that's what we're going to do next. Cut the wing. Alright, we've completed our body modifications to the 2000-year Boxster S. It's ready to hit the road. She's beautiful. And this thing is running and driving. Alright, the car is stretched. We painted up all the metal that we installed. So now it looks like a factory car. Sort of, kind of. And we are getting ready to install the air shocks, air struts for the front of the car.